Praise the Lord. Welcome to Bible Prophecy Forum. My name is Evangelist Seth Olale from Nairobi, Kenya. Today I want to make a video about a dream that I had in January 2024. In that dream, I dreamt that Donald Trump was walking in the streets of Nairobi, Kenya. I dreamt that President Donald Trump was walking along a very dusty and downtown streets of Nairobi. The street in which I saw Donald Trump walking is known as Ronald Ngala Street. Ronald Ngala Street. I've done an illustration of Donald Trump the way I saw him in the dream, and I've also done an illustration of Nairobi CBD, the Central Business Bureau, the Central Business District of Nairobi, the CBD. So in this illustration, you can see President Donald Trump. I dreamt that Donald Trump was walking the streets of Nairobi and he was half naked and his hair was dyed blue. So that is the way I have drawn Donald Trump. You can see that his hair is dyed blue. And in the dream, I saw that Donald Trump was looking like a zombie. He looked confused. And he was walking as if he did not know where he was going. President Donald Trump did not have any bodyguards or American Secret Service bodyguards who normally take care to protect the American president. President Donald Trump was walking alone without anybody. He was walking on the pavement and he was half naked. He did not have any shirt or any coat or any t-shirt. And the place where I saw Donald Trump was walking was along Ronald Ngala Street. So I've drawn a map of Nairobi to show where I saw Donald Trump. This is the place where I saw Donald Trump walking. He was walking on these streets going towards Tomboya Street. He was walking towards this direction. Donald Trump was walking Ronald Ngala, and he was walking towards the junction of Ronald Ngala and Tomboya Street. So this is Tomboya Street. I'm going to show you Tomboya Street. So that is Tomboya Street. President Donald Trump was walking towards Tomboya Street. And those of you who know about the politics of Kenya, both Ronald Ngala Street, and Tomboya Street, these two roads or these two avenues They were named after two politicians who died prematurely in the 1960s. Tom Mboya was a very charismatic politician, one of the most intelligent politicians to emerge from Africa and the world. He was a young, charismatic politician who was very powerful and was a threat to President Jomo Kenyatta and the Kiambu Mafia. And Tom Mboya was shot dead. He was shot dead in Nairobi, and he was shot near along Moi Avenue. Tom Mboya was shot dead along Moi Avenue. So this is where Tom Mboya was shot dead. Tom Mboya was shot dead along Moi Avenue. He was shot dead when he was going to buy medicine at a chemist along Moi Avenue. So that is why I've now drawn the place where Tom Mboya was shot dead. And when Tom Mboya was shot dead, Kenya almost went into civil war because there were serious riots in Nairobi and in Kisumu, and hundreds of people, or even thousands, may have lost their lives because we do not know the exact number of people who are butchered, especially in Kisumu. When Jomo Kenyatta went to visit Kisumu, he was attacked by the supporters of Tom Mboya and his bodyguards and the GSU and the police security and the bodyguards. They were shooting randomly in Kisumu. So hundreds, if not thousands of people died in Kisumu, in South Nyanza. So you can see that I saw Donald Trump was walking along Ronald Gala Street, and he was heading towards Tom Mboya Street, which means that there is a spirit of death that is going to come upon Donald Trump the moment he reaches Tom Mboya Street. The moment Donald Trump reaches Tom Mboya Street, in the dream, prophetically speaking, using symbols, that is when Donald Trump is going to be eliminated by his enemies, and then America will go into civil war. We know that Tom Mboya was shot dead, and that is why this street is called Tom Mboya Street. And in the dream, I saw Donald Trump. He was walking naked, without any bodyguards, towards Tom Mboya Street. And then also, Donald Trump was walking along Ronald Gala Street. And there was a very powerful politician and charismatic politician in Kenya who was called Ronald Gala. And Ronald Gala died mysteriously in a freak road accident. And Ronald Gala was also a presidential material. He would have become a president in Kenya, or even a vice president. But Ronald Gala also died prematurely in a suspicious road accident because he was opposed to the Kiambu Mafia grabbing fertile land in Taita Taveta, where he came from. Taita Taveta is one of the most fertile places in Africa, Taita Hills. And Roland Gala died mysteriously in a suspicious road accident that many people believe was planned by his enemies, the Kiambu Mafia. So when Roland Gala died, his career ended. And this street that is called Roland Gala is today named after the late Kenyan politician Ngala. So you can see that I saw President Donald Trump. He was walking along Ngala going towards Tomboya Street, which means that uh, President Donald Trump is now going to enter a very dangerous moment in his life, according to this dream, because God uses symbols. So the moment he reaches this point here, this means he is going to be cut off. He is going to be removed from power by his enemies, and they are going to eliminate him the way Tomboya was eliminated, and also he is going to be eliminated the way Ngala was eliminated in a suspicious way. And today, if you go to Ngala Street, there is a monument that has been constructed in memorial of Ngala. There is a statue along Ngala Street. Just next to Post Bank building, there is Ngala monument, national monument, with his statue to remember him. And also, if you go to Moi Avenue, just behind Tomboya Street, you're going to find that there is a Tomboya monument that is constructed between Moi Avenue and Tomboya Street. There is a Tomboya monument. His statue is made there, next to the National Archives building. That is where Tomboya monument is. Therefore, God speaks through symbols. And President Donald Trump, his life is still in danger, and his enemies are going to succeed in removing him. And when I dreamt that dream in January 2024, I dreamt that I was also here at the Ambassador Hotel along Moi Avenue. The Ambassador Hotel that is along Moi Avenue, I was standing there and waiting for a bus, and then I saw a newspaper falling from the air. I saw a newspaper falling from the air in slow motion. So I've done a picture of a newspaper falling from the air, and that newspaper fell in slow motion and it landed on the ground. And on the headlines of the newspaper, it was talking about breaking news about something that had happened to President Donald Trump. And then I saw very many Kenyans running towards the newspaper vendors, the people who sell newspapers. Many Kenyans ran to grab newspapers to read about what had happened to President Donald Trump. It seems that in the near future, something terrible is going to happen to President Donald Trump that is going to make headlines around the world. Because I saw a newspaper falling from the sky and it landed on the ground, and I believe that it means that we are going to see the fall of President Donald Trump, because I saw the newspaper falling on the ground, which means that is a great fall. He is going to fall down to the ground, and I believe that is his destruction, the fall and the death of Donald Donald John Trump. That is what it meant by the dream when I saw the newspaper falling from the sky, and the newspaper had breaking news about something bad that had happened to Donald Trump. And then I saw many Kenyans running to buy newspapers, and Kenyans gathered in groups, and they were talking about what had happened to Donald Trump. So this is what is coming to America. Once Donald Trump is removed from power by his enemies, America will go into civil war and America will be divided. Just like you see, these roads are divided into 4 parts, into 4 directions. So America will also be divided and people will flee from America and America will pull itself apart with different groups. America will be divided. Just like America has divided other countries, America will also be divided. Remember that I saw this newspaper fall along Moy Avenue. And you know that along Moy Avenue, that is where we used to have the American US Embassy in Kenya, which was blown apart in 1998 bomb blast, and many Kenyans died. So I believe that when Donald Trump shall be removed, there is going to be a catastrophic event like 9/11. It is going to be a false flag event planned by the Illuminati. It is going to be the second 9/11 event. And once this happens, Donald Trump will be removed. And once Donald Trump has been removed, we are going to see Obama coming back to power. Once the civil war breaks out, in America, and America degenerates into a third world country, then we are going to see Obama is now going to come back. People all over America, they are going to demand that Obama comes back as the Messiah to save America once Donald Trump has been removed from power. So Obama and Michelle Obama, they are going to come back to rule, and Obama is going to rule America as the beast of Revelation chapter 13 and Revelation chapter 17, the Antichrist. And in the dream, I saw that President Donald Trump was walking around half naked and his hair was dyed blue. I believe that God was showing me about the Epstein files, the Epstein files. The Epstein files. At that time, I never knew why I was dreaming that Donald Trump was walking around half naked. But now, according to the information that is being seen from the Jeffrey Epstein files, the name of Donald Trump has appeared over 1 million times in those files, and he is being accused by his enemies that there is a big cover up to protect Donald Trump and some of the most powerful people in America. Therefore, I believe that once the Epstein files have been exposed, that is when we are going to see the fall of President Donald Trump. I saw that he was half naked, walking without any clothes on top. He only wore a trouser, and his hair was dyed blue, which means that this man that rules America, he is a pervert. Many people believe that even Melania Trump is a transgender man who is dressed like a woman, just like Michelle Obama. So, President Donald Trump is a sodomite. He is a pedophile who has abused young boys and young girls, and he has used threats to silence them. And that is why his name has featured over 1 million times in the Jeffrey Epstein files. So we are going to see the fall of Donald Trump, and when the fall of Donald Trump happens, that is when the fall of Babylon America shall begin. And we are going to see the fall of capitalism, the fall of Donald J. Trump, and the fall of the American middle class, and then we are going to see the fall of American capitalism, and we are also going to see the the fall of the American US dollar. And then we are going to see the fall of the American hegemony that rules the world. The end of Zionism, the power of the Jews will be removed. The fall of Zionism and the fall of Western American hegemony is going to be removed. Praise the Lord. We are going to see the prophecy of the fiery kickoff event happening. Once the fiery kickoff event happens in New York, that is when we are going to see President Donald Trump removed. And according to the prophecies of the Master's Voice of Prophecy by Sister Celestial Revival, according to the prophecy of the Master's Voice of Prophecy of Celestial Revival, Donald Trump will be removed together with his Vice President J.D. Vance. All of them will be removed from power in one day. So, according to Celestial Revival, there is going to be a silent coup in America, in the White House, and in Washington, Washington D.C. Once Donald Trump has been removed, civil war begins, and then Obama returns to power to rule America as the Antichrist and the Beast of Revelation chapter 13 and Revelation chapter 17, from verse 12 up to verse 17. And then the red horse that brings war across the world is released, because once Donald Trump is removed from power, civil war will break out in America, and then America will go into World War III against other countries like China, Russia, and Iran, and North Korea. That is the red horse of Revelation chapter 6 shall be removed. A great sword was given to the rider of the red horse, which means weapons of mass destruction like nuclear weapons and other advanced weapons that are more powerful and dangerous even than nuclear weapons that Russia and China and America and Israel and Iran possess, and even North Korea. We know that 2 billion people are going to be killed in the war along the river Euphrates, according to Revelation chapter 9. Once the 4 angels that are bound in the river Euphrates are released, a great war is going to happen there, and it is going to involve Israel, the false nation of Israel, America, and the Arab and the Muslim countries. A war that is going to kill 2 billion people. A great sword was given to the rider of the red horse of Revelation chapter 6. And then the black horse comes in, the world economic crisis. Once the war begins in the Middle East, all the oil refineries, the oil shipping containers, and the oil factories, oil pipelines, and cities in the Middle East, Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Iran, Iraq, Oman, Egypt, Syria, and the Gulf states, Qatar, and other countries are going to be involved in this war. Therefore, there will be no more export of oil from the Middle East. And this is how the world is going to collapse economically. The entire economy of the world is going to collapse, and there's going to be great hunger, because people will not be able to transport food, because there will be no oil around the world. That is the black horse of Revelation chapter 6, the third seal, when the third seal is released. Therefore, these are the things that are coming upon the face of the earth. Praise the Lord. Also, we say that this man, he has been working for Satan and the Antichrist. He is now going to be the evidence that he gathered, the videotapes and the sex tapes that he recorded of pedophilias and the elite raping young boys and young girls, and the elite committing evil things like even murdering young children and eating their flesh. All these things were recorded. So now when these videos are released, this is how the Antichrist is going to destroy the Illuminati and all the top people who have been planning to bring in the New World Order. Once the Illuminati and the Illuminati and the elite in America and Europe and Asia and in Israel, they have been destroyed by the evidence from the Jeffrey Epstein files. Then many of them will be thrown into jail. Some will commit suicide. Some will have their careers destroyed, and then only one person will be left standing after the Epstein scandal has been unleashed, and the only person who will be left standing is not Donald Trump, but the only person who will be left standing is none other than the man of sin, Barack Hussein Obama, the beast of Revelation, chapter 17,